In the next 2 years, Kazakhstan and Serbia plan to increase trade by 6 times. This will be possible due to the development of cooperation in agricultural industry. The countries will boost the trade of vegetables and fruits, followed by processing the edible items. Experts also say that jams, juices and sweets made by joint production will be sold in Kazakhstan and Serbia very soon. New items may be added to the import and export list. Serbia is interested in the large and stable market of Kazakhstan. We consider this trend more favorable for us than the West Europe. Kazakhstan has great potential since it has everything that we are interested in. In 2018, the mutual trade between Kazakhstan and Serbia increased by 60% and totaled $42 million. The countries have other ambitious plans. Moreover, they have enough prerequisites for partnership. Everything could begin with tourism, trade and transport. There are huge prospects in construction. Our companies are working both in Serbia and in Kazakhstan. For example, the Tesla Park residential complex is being built by our construction companies. There are a lot of shopping and leisure facilities being built. The countries also plan to develop cooperation in military. Belgrade has showed a desire to receive customs-free imports of several goods from Kazakhstan in the EEU market. In addition, the Serbian plans to supply 5,000 vehicles to Kazakhstan based on special quota. Kazakhstan is progressively and systematically transforming to digital technologies. One of the successful examples of the implementation of innovative projects is conducted in the North Kazakhstan region. The first digitized vegetable stores have been built. Each of the 5 stores is programmed for individual types of vegetables. Using a mobile application, people can control temperature, install ionization system, and humidify the air. We grow organic vegetables, but no one could keep them. Now we can. All products are purchased on our fields from our farmers. We guarantee that it is high-quality products. An open access map of vacant land and production premises has appeared in the Karagandi region. Now entrepreneurs can easily find vacant places for projects. Appropriate site for business and infrastructure can be found online. The register shows vacant land in 9 districts and 9 cities in the region, which are up for auction or are planned for future sale.
Information
can be seen on the website of the Mayor's office and on the website of the Regional Chamber of Entrepreneurs. We also gather information on idle enterprises and industrial sites. In addition, connection to energy sources is also indicated on this website, which we are constantly developing. In the Jambil region, the digital mine project is being introduced at a gold mining enterprise. It automates all underground and open cast mining. It will minimize human labor, in particular dangerous areas. Experts predict an increase in productivity by 5% and a reduction in costs by 20%. We are actively introducing tablet technologies using laser scanning for surveys. We decided to have state support, contact our National Department for Technology Development, and they work with us on state support tools. Improving the quality of life of Kazakhs through digital transformation of national economy is the main goal of the Digital Kazakhstan program. The share of IT in the country's GDP will reach 5% by 2020. Kazakhstan has climbed in the world ranking of the best health systems. Now the country joined the top 50. These are results of a study by the American Bloomberg. It was based on data from the World Health Organization, the United Nations, and the World Bank. Over the past 3 years, nearly 100 new technologies have been approved and put into practice in Kazakhstan, including robot-assisted surgery. Soon the country plans to open a modern molecular and genomic laboratory.
Мы готовы уже запустить
молекулярно-геномную лабораторию.
We are ready to launch the molecular and genomic laboratory and begin full-scale DNA sequencing, as well as study the various options for expression of signal molecules, as well as the study of biomarkers that we will receive in these studies.
Изучение биомаркеров, которые мы будем получать в этих исследованиях.
By the decree of President of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, 2019 is dedicated to the younger generation. Today, comprehensive support for young people is becoming a priority of state policy. All conditions have been created for development of science and education, as well as privileges, subsidies, and other measures of state support have been provided. In return, young people are expected to be active and effective. They are expected to have initiatives and proposals. There can be increase in labor productivity and jobs. This includes research in IT technologies, green energy, agriculture, and robotics. The most promising ones have been presented in Astana at the competition of innovative projects.
В 2019 году, в год молодежи, будет поддержано множество молодежных инициатив. Вот одним из примеров можно сказать наш республиканский конкурс.
In 2019, many youth initiatives will be supported. One of the examples is our Republican competition of innovative projects Nurintech. To date, more than 30 participants have moved to the final round. The best projects have been selected, and the total prize fund is nearly 5 million tenge. Our projects will be further promoted and commercialized. In previous years, we had a good experience. We want these projects to be implemented. Today, creators of high-tech developments are school children, students, and young science doctors from all over the country. The contest organizers are sure that they might become world-renowned scientists whose works will be an undeniable sensation and a new chapter of educational technologies and robotics. For example, a graduate of one of the capital schools, Alikhan Rakhmetov, had brought to the competition a unique sensory cane for the blind and people with visual impairments. He says his invention is the only one in the world.
Трость состоит из двух основных частей. Это ее корпус и роботизированный комплекс. Корпус состоит из таких частей, как колесики.
The cane consists of two main parts, a body and a robotic complex. The cane has wheels so that the person does not need to lift it, but simply roll it on the surface. With the help of the wheels, the person can feel obstacles, such as edges and stairs. The cane can be adjusted and stretched according to height. There is a power button.
Вытягиваться. Также здесь установлена кнопка включения и выключения.
It is still unknown whether this innovative project will bring victory to the young inventor. The results of the youth competition will be announced at a later date. Today, participation in the contest confirms that the country's future belongs to the talented and very promising young people. Kazakhstan and Korea are enhancing cooperation and are set to exchange experience as part of the Archive 2025 program implementation. The program was announced in the 7 facets of the Great Step article and includes the tasks specified in the memorandum signed 2 years ago between the Archive of the Kazakh President and the National Archives of Korea. We started the digital conversion process of important documents in Korea in 1962, and we started scanning the documents 50 years ago. We converted 600,000 archival documents out of 5 million documents into digital media. We started using digital conversion equipment 10 years ago. We are planning to purchase new equipment next year. Experts work with the archival documents every weekday. Damages on the digitized photographs are removed by specialists using photo editor. Paper media are scanned in a separate room. Employees wear masks and gloves in order to protect the documents. Electronic copies of portraits of leaders, gifts of foreign heads of state will also be preserved for future generations. Visitors can see a wagon model presented to President Roh Moo-hyun during his visit to Astana. Visitors can learn the information about 40 exhibits that are not on display at the exhibition. More information can be found on the website. This program was created in 2016. The originals are stored in the repository where a certain temperature suitable for each exhibit is maintained, the temperature of 18 degrees and humidity of 40 to 50%. Evidence of Nursultan Nazarbayev's first official visit to Seoul in 1995 will also be a valuable legacy for the future generations of the two countries. Archivists believe that the joint efforts will preserve the history in its original form to make this information available to both experts and the general public. Resorts in Central Asia are gaining popularity among foreign tourists. Moreover, travelers like to visit the region both in summer and winter. The Central Asian republics, which are famous for their mountains, actively develop the ski industry. For example, foreigners in Kyrgyzstan are attracted to trails of varying complexity, from wide slopes for beginners to narrow and steep ones for professionals. In addition, these new services are promised to be built for tourists. At one of the facilities, an extreme park for skiers and snowboarders will be opened. In another facility, a free ride on an undisturbed slope and ski jumping will be offered. In 10 years, my dream is to visit all the ski resorts in a season. I want to fulfill this dream. We predict that the season will be very snowy and our guests will get a lot of emotions. We are ready to share them. Kazakhstan is focusing on winter recreation. Almaty has world-famous Medio Sports Complex and the Shimbulak Ski Resort, which are proven to be the best for travelers. Currently, foreign climbers and skiers are attracted to eastern Kazakhstan. Tourists will be entertained with not only skis, but also with winter fishing. In spring, half a ton of valuable fish was placed into a small reservoir in the Gornaya Ulbinka tract, which is 16 kilometers away from Oskimen. This is our first year of work. In the future, we plan to make a whole chain of such ponds. I think both foreigners and our people will be interested. Uzbekistan plans to become a global tourist destination. The country has developed more than 20 special documents which have a practical foundation. Our companies are working on development of an extreme ski resort in Uzbekistan, sharing experience in tourism and services. For example, in Uzbekistan's Bostandik region, construction of a ski facility has begun. Central Asia would become a new exotic destination for tourists, analysts say. The republics are actively improving infrastructure and logistics, as well as developing the service sector. Saraishyk is one of the most ancient and important cities of the Great Silk Road. An exhibition dedicated to the historical fortress of Kazakh steppe was organized in Tashkent. Over 100 exhibits were found during excavations. The history and formation of Saraishyk are presented on the information stands. The city flourished in the era of the Golden Horde. It was called the largest trading and economic center of the Great Silk Road. In the 15th century, it became the capital of the Kazakh Khanate. The ancient city of Kazakhstan is being actively studied, experts say. Archaeologists could discover a number of unique artifacts. The exposition is available throughout January at the Museum of Applied Arts in Tashkent.
Что здесь бросается в глаза? Во-первых, это очень высокий уровень цивилизации и культуры в этом городе.
What is noticeable here is a very high level of civilization and culture in the city. Why? The Central Asia is a region where nomads have been in close contact with farmers since ancient times. Based on the example of the city, there were city centers on the territory of the nomads which had all the features of the urban environment.
Которые аккумулировали в себе все характерные черты именно городской среды.
There will be a number of significant historical and archaeological discoveries in Kazakhstan. A 3-year archaeological research program has been adopted in the east of the republic. Scientists will be able to study the habitat, lifestyle, and technological development of people who lived in the region in ancient times. The golden warrior found during excavations of the Isi Kurgan led the start to big discoveries of modernity. The so-called Kazakh Tutankhamun has become a key to the lifestyle and highest industrial culture of the Saka Tribes. Researchers say that the funeral of the ancient man covered with jewelries is a find of international significance.
Эта находка сыграла огромное значение для развития не только археологической науки Казахстана, но и для мировой.
This find has played a great role for the development of archaeological Kazakhstan and the world science. Additional 4 gold warriors have been discovered on the territory of Aktobe, Karaganda, and East Kazakhstan regions. Once again, this shows the development of the Kazakhstan culture.
Свидетельствует о том, что какого высочайшего уровня развития, скажем, культуры достиг Казахстан.
New and unexplored artifacts are stored in the Altai Mountains. For example, in 2018, an archaeological team discovered the tomb of the new golden man at the Yeleke Sazi Plateau in Tarbagatay.
Осы жерден табылған қалайы рудасы сонау әлгі қос өзен бойына Месопотамияға дейін.
Scientists found more than 8,000 gold elements on clothes of the golden man discovered in the Yeleke Sazi Plateau. The historical value and significance are more important than their quantity. For example, once again, this proves that at that time metallurgy was well developed. Now it is simply impossible to recreate.
Соны барып тұрып жіппенен тізбектеп, содан кейін әлгі шалбарына тікеген, шалбарына шекейлеген.
Scientists have proved that 2,800 years ago, the Saka Tribes had developed advanced metallurgical industry and conducted field development. Therefore, now, Kazakh researchers plans to include the ancient monuments of the Bronze Age into the UNESCO World Heritage List. Kurmangazy Sagyrbaiuly Regional Cultural Center was reconstructed in Altinjar village in the Russian Astrakhan region. Kazakh culture and traditions are preserved at the center. It is visited by more than 25,000 tourists from different countries every year.
Жапониядан келіп жатыр, Китайдан келді, Англия, Франциядан келіп жатыр.
Tourists arrive from Japan, France, England, and China. Both foreign visitors and local residents are interested in the Kazakh customs and traditions, which we preserve in Russia. Visitors want to listen to the dombra and eat barsaks.
Сол енді осы Россияда тұрып, сол жұмысымызды жасаймыз осы орталықта.
The museum visitors can also enjoy Kurmangazy's quiz, such as Adai, Saraishyk, and Teremurat, which became signature works of the Kazakh music. There are new exhibits in the renovated museum dedicated to the great composer, which include a jar dated back to the early 19th century, an ancient butter churn, leather dishes, and wedding costumes.
Но, конечно, ценнейшим экспонатом нашего музея является вот
This dombra is the most valuable item in our museum. Kurmangazy Sagyrbaiuly played the instrument and taught his Francis grandson to play. He made the bridge on the dombra himself.
Ремычка на этой домбре сделан его руками.
The Regional Cultural Center promotes music written by Kurmangazy not only in Astrakhan. The artists often tour around Russia. On the new year, the musicians will visit Volgograd, Saratov, Samara, and Moscow. Astana Opera presented festive ballet performances in the Italian city of Genoa. The Kazakh ballet company performed legendary ballets such as The Nutcracker and Swan Lake by Pyotr Tchaikovsky. The sold-out performances in Teatro Carlo Felice were attended by adults and children. Tickets for all 6 performances were sold out long before the beginning of the tour.
Два состава почти что. Мы привезли всю труппу, 100 человек.
We brought 100 people. Almost all our artists are here. They can replace each other. The schedule is tough and it is difficult to perform in such large and technically challenging performances twice a day. But I think that all the artists are motivated, showing patriotism and the willingness to represent Kazakhstan, Astana and Astana Opera.
И желание достойно представить Казахстан, Астану и театр Astana Opera.
The audience highly appreciated the young company's skills and the production of the performance with large-scale decorations, unique costumes, and a giant spruce, which was the main decoration of the scene. I like the performance, especially the artists who performed the lead roles. The soloists are very skilled. I was impressed by the stage design, the colors, and graceful ballerinas. The performance is magnificent. I like the way the ballerinas and the lead characters dance. I also like the stage design in the second act, especially the flying ship and the fish. The artists dance well. The Kazakh artists also plan to visit Spain as part of their tour.